Building a better marketing system, tactical considerations. This is Bruce May. I'm the founder of Bizperity and your instructor for this series. This course, Digital Media Strategies, includes 4 micro courses, including 4 main digital marketing processes, owned audiences, tactical considerations, and 15 basic campaigns. This micro course, Tactical Considerations, includes the 7 micro lessons shown on the right: social media processes, content marketing processes, creating content for customer segments, basic automated processes, tagging processes in a CRM, managing conversions in the customer journey, and designing campaigns. This video covers our micro lesson, social media processes. You may recall our very first video lesson, Strategic Planning Overview. In that video, we briefly covered the same tactical considerations we've addressed in this micro course. Campaign level strategy is the 3rd level of strategic planning. Marketing level strategy is where you define your marketing goals. Channel level strategy is where you pick your marketing channels and tactics. And campaign level strategy is where you design campaigns and optimize performance. This is where most of your time is spent when building a marketing system, unless you outsource this work to a digital agency. In our first video, we briefly covered the tactical elements we've been describing in more detail in this micro course. We cover the last tactical lesson in this video, designing campaigns. We'll begin here and explain how you can use our 15 basic campaigns to select pre-designed campaigns to match your marketing goal with a campaign objective. We'll show you how our 15 basic campaigns make connecting specific objective to a single conversion in the customer journey simple and easy to do. Use our 15 basic campaigns to help decide what campaigns you want to use. These campaigns are organized under 5 common marketing goals. Each has a unique campaign goal with a specific campaign objective, which is easily measured. Let's take another look at our 15 basic campaigns. Here are the first 3 campaigns. Let's just look at the first campaign, lead capture with content. This is a content marketing campaign. The conversion is to a lead or a new customer. This is the campaign objective. You should pick only one objective for your campaign. You have 2 objectives or conversions from which to choose: a new lead or a new customer. New customers only works well for retail or similar consumer-facing businesses that don't have a professional sales process. If you have a professional sales process, a new lead is a better objective for you with this particular campaign. Looking at the metrics, the ones in black are interactive, available with online media platforms and CRMs, clicks, downloads, views, and email replies, as well as form submissions. The red ones are available in the real world, things like phone calls, online purchases, door counts, in-store purchases. Some of these can also be tracked by Facebook, like a phone call, by entering your number in the ad, or online purchases, which can be tracked by the Metapixel by many e-commerce solutions. You can pick whichever one fits your situation. You should only pick a single metric to count your key conversion. Your campaign goal should be focused on one stage in the customer journey and a single conversion point. For a simple consumer business, it may always be the last stage, conversion to a new customer. For a business marketing to a sales funnel, it could be any point from early stage audience building to marketing qualified conversion or sales qualified conversion, or even to a deal conversion. If you want to acquire a new lead, you would be focused on the early stage of the customer journey. If you want to acquire a new customer, you would be focused on the last stage of the customer journey. Because these 15 basic campaigns are adaptable to any business model, you need to pick the action you want your prospect or customer to take, which we call the key result. Is it to submit a form on a landing page and receive a special offer? To download content that will help move them further along in the customer journey? Or to get off the couch and visit your store? To make a purchase? To register for a live event? It could be anything that makes sense based on what it is you want your prospect or customer to do. These have traditionally been called KPIs, which stands for Key Performance Indicator. But there's a popular version called OKRs, which stands for Objectives and Key Results. OKRs fits the language we're using here, which is a defined objective and a key result, which is measured by a specific metric. OKRs aren't really that different from KPIs, but they do focus your attention on defining a key result and not just an objective. The result is measured by a specific metric, which you must pick. But this is mostly a matter of common sense. If you want a user to submit a form, then clicking on Submit is your key metric or your key result. If you want a user to download a piece of non-promotional content, clicking on the download link is your key metric. This can be measured by a link you set up in a landing page or in an email or even on your website. If you want a customer to visit your place of business, you could measure the door count. Clearly, online tracking using a CRM or an online ad platform is far easier than the reporting is automatically placed in your dashboard. An easy way to think about this is to simply think of the KPI or the OKR as a metric that measures the action called for by your call to action. How this works is going to be dependent on your business model and the best practices common in your type of business. This should be, again, common sense for anyone familiar with how your business works. If the goal is to capture a new customer and you do not have a professional sales staff, the content should be promotional, advertising a sale or promotion or a special offer of some kind. For an offline ad, the key metric would likely be a phone call, a door count, an in-store purchase, or an online purchase, and the content would be in the form of a special offer. For online ads, the key metric would be a click on the ad, which you would send the user to a landing page or your web page, or trigger an email campaign that could deliver a coupon or other code to redeem the special offer. Of course, you don't have to use a coupon or a code, but it helps you track individuals who complete the customer journey by making a purchase. If the goal is to capture a new lead using non-promotional content, the objective is a lead conversion. Only some of these conversions will be new leads because existing leads or contacts may also click on your ad. You can track the number of new leads using your CRM to flag any new leads that are not already in your CRM. And you can create an automated process to send a welcome email or assign a customer segment based on information in the form. You can add up to 5 tags in MailChimp in their landing page form. And you can create a separate automation that is triggered by any of these tags to add or remove additional tags, as well as trigger other automations like sending an email. The key metric or key result would be measured by a click, download, submission, number of views, or email replies. In some cases, you'll find your key metric in the Facebook Ad Manager or the Campaign Manager, or in LinkedIn, the Campaign Manager in LinkedIn. In other cases, the key metric will be reported by your CRM. In MailChimp, it will be listed in either your marketing dashboard, which provides a high-level overview across all your campaigns, or your campaign reports with specific data on email and landing page campaigns, which is an easy place to find that information. And the content could be information addressing the needs, challenges, or interests of the prospect. If you follow along, you can see how this works now. There are a few important points that should be noted. First, goals are broadly stated, even when they sound very specific. Capturing a new customer can mean different things depending on the nature of your business. Because goals can mean different things, they tend to be vague and are difficult to measure by specific metrics. Goals give meaning to a campaign and point to a meaningful objective that can be measured. Second, in our approach, objectives are usually defined in terms of a conversion in the customer journey. Third, metrics, which are often stated to be goals, are really just measures of ad performance. To media companies, they are performance metrics, but what they're measuring is often disconnected from the real campaign goal or objective. For example, online ad platforms will report all metrics in a campaign, including clicks on any part of an ad, engagement metrics, things like likes, shares, or comments, impressions, and even actions on your website if they're being tracked by the metapixel. Only one of these metrics has anything to do with your call to action or the key conversion, which may also be counted by Facebook. To be fair, ad performance does matter. Media companies and digital agencies use these metrics to improve ad performance and increase return on ad spend, two important goals. And you should also keep an eye on all these metrics to improve campaign performance if you're managing your own campaigns. But these are not campaign goals. They are performance goals or secondary objectives, which we've talked about before. Don't confuse them, even when others talk about them as if they are your campaign goals, which sometimes happens when you're talking to agencies. They are important to you, but they remain goals for whoever is managing the ad performance. When you're designing campaigns, always remain focused on the campaign goal and the objective, which is a conversion that can be measured. Conversions that result in sales and revenue determine your return on ad spend. And fourth, if you focus on the goal and the objective of the campaign, which again is a conversion step in the customer journey in most cases, you can better understand how to improve campaign performance at its core. That is a huge statement, and it's not well understood. Let's dig into what this actually means. Let's take a closer look at what we need to do to create a campaign to capture a new lead. The goal is to capture a lead with content because we know we'll capture leads that may include existing contacts. We must be more specific with our objective. So the objective is to capture new leads specifically. We will separate out new leads by adding a tag to new contacts in our CRM. We're going to use content to capture our leads. We only have to decide which conversion to use. Pick a marketing qualified lead or a sales qualified lead. Pick only one for this campaign. If you want to capture both, create two separate campaigns. New leads could come in at either stage of the customer journey, so you might want to create two campaigns. The reason you don't want to do this in a single campaign is that both the messaging and the content would be different for each campaign or each conversion. Choose a marketing channel, create your online ad in social media search or an online ad display network, create your landing page, and plan a follow-up step. This step is easily overlooked. Designing campaigns to manage the customer journey always need to look forward to creating a next step, which may be another campaign, but doesn't have to be. Choose a follow-up step. Email campaign, a follow-up campaign in the same conversion group, a follow-up campaign in the next conversion group, an email or phone call from sales, schedule a meeting, or a call to action with a specific destination, such as a store or office visit, a website with product or pricing information, or another piece of content to continue nurturing the lead. And of course, some prospects will jump ahead, but that's a good thing. You wouldn't want to hold a prospect back if they're ready to move forward into the sales funnel. You can do all this yourself, or you can work with a digital agency and let them design, implement, and improve all your campaigns. You should tell them your goals, objectives, and the conversion that you need for each campaign you want them to create. They'll appreciate working with an educated client. They'll also be able to produce better results for you because of their knowledge, experience, and extra tools. If you're clear about your goals and objectives, your digital agency should be too. We will provide an overview of all 15 of our basic campaigns in our next micro course. That completes this micro course, Designing Campaigns. Be sure and download our ebook, 15 Basic Campaigns, from our content library on bizperity.com. Next time, we'll cover data collection made simple, the first video in our next micro course, 15 Basic Campaigns. See you next time on Building a Better Marketing System. Thank you for joining us.